Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are moving on from finding the equation of the tangent. Remember that in the previous video we are focusing much on how to find the equation of the tangent and also how to find the gradient of the tangent. So today, remember that we are still on calculus. Okay, we are still on calculus, and then on calculus we did the first part, and today we want to do the second part, which is finding the equation of the normal. So now, when finding the equation of the normal, there are two things that you need to know. You need to first find, like I said in the previous video, you need to find the tangent, the gradient of the normal, and then the value of y, if at all you are not given the value of y. So now let's jump to our example. We see how we can find the equation of the normal. Okay. Alright. So the example says find the equation of the normal to the curve y is equals to 2x squared minus 3x minus 2 that passes through 3 and 7. I repeat the question. The question says find the equation of the normal to the curve y is equals to 2x squared minus 3x minus 2 that passes through 3 and 7, or 3,7. Okay, so now how do you solve that particular question? Before you attempt to solve the question, first bear in mind that you need to differentiate this one, or find the derivative of this curve or function. After finding the derivative or differentiating that curve, you need to find the value of the gradient of the tangent. Okay, after differentiating the curve, you need to find the gradient of the tangent. After finding the gradient of the tangent, you need to find, remember that we want to find the equation of the normal. Hence, we need to find the gradient of the normal. After finding the gradient of the normal, that's when now we can move on to find the equation of the normal. So meaning we need to know two things. One, differentiating. Two, we need to find the gradient of the normal. From there, that's when we can move on to find the equation of the normal. Okay, having said that, let's jump to our solution. We see how we can solve that particular question. Okay, that is our solution there. Remember that our equation is y is equals to 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. That is our equation that we're moving with. And they have given us two coordinates. They have said that passes through 3 and or 3,7. So now those 3,7, we call them coordinates, and the coordinates represent one represent x and the other one represent y. Meaning the 3 one represent the value of x, and then 7 represent the value of y. Hence, in this case, we are not going to focus much on how to find the value of y because we've already been given. So now let's differentiate this function or curve. Y is equals to 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. So when we differentiate that one, remember, if you watch the previous video, meaning you are not going to find difficulties on how to differentiate such kind of function or curve. So I'll just go direct, since you now know how to differentiate. So when you differentiate that function there, it will give you 4x. It will give you here. It will give you 4x minus 3. So now after differentiating that function, remember that we need, first of all, we need to find the gradient of the tangent before finding the gradient of the normal. So now when finding the gradient of the tangent, all we need to do is just replace this x here, that x there, we need to replace that x with the value of x. Meaning where there is x, we will put its value. In this case, the value of x, they have given us 3. So meaning we need to put 3 where there is x. So that brings us here. Okay, that brings us here. So where there is x, I'll put 3 there. Then I've said 4 times 3 minus 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 3, it will give us a 9. Okay, it will give us 9 there. So that 9, ladies and gentlemen, does not specify to say it's our equation of the normal or gradient of the normal. No, that basically signifies the equation, the gradient of the tangent. So that 9 is our gradient of the tangent. So now after finding the gradient of the tangent, we can move on now to find the equation, gradient of the normal. You cannot find the gradient of the normal minus you finding the gradient of the tangent. So now let's move on to find the gradient of the normal. Let's move on to find the gradient of the normal. So now, for you to be able to find the gradient of the normal, there's a formula that we normally use so that you are able to find the gradient of the normal. So now that formula is this formula here. Hope you are able to see it. M1 times M2 is equal to negative 1. M1 times M2 is equal to negative 1. Where M1 is equal to M1 represent the gradient of the tangent, M2 represent gradient of the normal. I repeat, M1 represent gradient of the tangent, M2 represent gradient of the normal. So now when you look at that formula there, we only have one value of gradient, which is M1. We only have the value of M1, and we want to find the value of M2, which represents gradient of the normal. So all we need to do is just to replace where there is M1, we put our value, which is 9. So that basically brings us there. Okay. So where there is M1, have put 9 times M2 is equal to negative 1. So now, when you have such, all you need to do is just to make M2 subject to the formula. So when you make M2 subject to the formula, it will take you now to the value of M2. It will take you to the value of M2. Okay, so when you replace that one, it will take you here. Hope you are able to see it as well. Okay, it will take you there. So we say M2, we divide throughout by 9 so that we make M2 subject to the formula. So it will be 9M2 over 9 is equal to negative 1 over 9. So 9 and 9 will divide, meaning it will give us 1. 1 divided by 1 is 1. 1 times M2, it will give us M2 equals to negative 1 over 9, it will give us negative 1 over 9. Hence, negative 1 over 9 becomes our gradient of the normal. So meaning, in our equation, to find the equation of the normal, we are going to use negative 1 over 9 as our gradient of the normal, not just 9. If you use 9, meaning you are going to calculate the equation of the tangent. But in our case, we are going to use negative 1 over 9 to find the equation of the normal. So now, after finding, now we have all we need to find the equation of the normal, because first of all we have the gradient of the normal, and then we have the values of x and y, which those coordinates that they have given us 3,7. So we are going to use those three elements: the value of x, the value of y, and the gradient of the tangent, the gradient of the normal, to find the equation of the normal. So now let's move on to find the equation of the normal. Let's move on to find the equation of the normal. How do you find the equation of the normal? Ladies and gentlemen, there is another formula that you and me need to use or know that will help us find the equation of the normal. remember that even in the previous video when we were calculating the equation of the tangents, we used the formula which helped us find that equation of the tangent. So you use that same formula to find even the equation of the normal. Which formula is that? The formula I'm talking about is that formula there. Y minus y1 is equals to m2. In the previous video when we are doing equation of the normal, where there is m2, we just put m or m1 to represent gradient of the tangent. But when you look at this one, there is m2, which means gradient of the normal. X minus x1. So as usual, y1 stand for represent the value of y, and x1 represent the value of x. So since we have all this information, now we can replace. Okay, we can replace. We say where there is y there, y1, we put the value of y1 is 7. The value of x1 is 3. So meaning where there is y1 we put 7, where there is x1 we put 3. So that brings us there. Okay, that brings us there. Hope we are able to see it. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, that brings us there. Meaning we say y minus, where there is y1 I've put 7, equals to, where there is m2, remember that our m2 is negative 1 over 9, open bracket x, where there is x1 I've put 3, so it has given me x minus 3. So now after replacing there, you come now to this other stage. So we say y minus 7 is equals to this one here, this fraction, negative 1 over 9, that is a fraction, that is a proper fraction. So for you to work out that one, you are going to multiply the numerator by x and negative 3, and then you divide throughout by 9. What do I mean? You say negative 1 times x, it will give you negative x over 9. Then in negative, which is from negative 1 there, negative times negative is positive, which is this positive here. So 1 times 3 is 3 over 9. So that is how you multiply fractions. So now after you've worked out that one, you come now to this other stage. You say you need to make, remember that the format should be y is equals to mx plus c. That is the format on how our equation should look like. Y is equals to mc plus, mx plus c, where c, we say it stands for constant number. So now we need to make, in this case we need to make y subject to the formula. How? By applying additive inverse. Here, where there is negative 7, we need to apply additive inverse. When I say additive inverse, I mean to say, since there we have y minus 7, to get rid of that negative 7, we are going to say plus 7. Okay, we are going to say plus 7, and then even here, on the other side of the equation, we are going to say plus 7. So why are we doing so? We are doing so that we get rid of 7 on the negative 7 on the other side of the equation. So here we are going to say negative 7 plus 7, it will give us a 0. Hence, y is equals to negative x over 9 plus 3 over 9 plus that 7 there which we've just added. So that is how you apply additive inverse. But most of the time, we normally say when it crosses the equal sign. But the idea, the initial idea is there's additive inverse which is being applied. But to our understanding, we normally say when this negative 7 it crosses the equal sign, it changes the sign. Nevertheless, all means the same. Why? We are going to get the same answer. What is different is just the language, but the idea is applying additive inverse. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. So now, after, when you look at this equation there, that is, remember that is an equation, but it's not complete. You can see 3 over 9 plus 7, which is a fraction. 3 over 9 is a fraction. So meaning we are going to get, we need to work out 3 over 9 plus 7 so that it gives us one fraction. So now how do you do it? Now that one brings us here. Okay, so now here when you look at there, I've worked out 3 over 9 plus 7. 3 over 9 plus 7. So when you work out that one, it's the same as this 7 here. It's the same as over 1. Okay, it's the same as 7 over 1. So now we're going to look at a common denominator in which 9 and 1 can go without leaving a remainder. Which number that is 9 itself? 1 can go into 9 and 9 can go into 9. Hence 9 will be our common denominator, which is here. Okay, which is there. So you say 9 into 9. 9 into our common denominator is 1. 1 times 3, it will give us a 3. I mean 3, yes. Then 1 into 9. What is 1 into 9? It's 9. 9 times 7, it will give us a 63. So 63 plus 3, it will give us 66. Hence, it will be 66 over 9. So now when you look at 66 over 9, there's a number which can go into 66 and 9 without leaving a remainder. Which number is that? We can talk of 3. 3 can go into 66 and 3 itself can go into 9. So we say 3 into 66, it will give us 22. Okay, 3 into 66, it will give us 22. 3 into 9, it will give us 3. So we are going to get this 22 over 3 and plug it where there is 3 over 9 plus 7. So that one brings us there. Okay. So we're going to get 22 over 3 and put where there is 3 over 9 plus 7. So that gives us the equation of the normal. So it's called the equation of the normal because when you look at that equation, you are able to identify even the gradient of the normal. The gradient of the normal, remember that we found negative 1 over 9. Same applies even there. This part here. That part that I've just highlighted there. Negative x over 9 is the same as negative 1 over 9, which is our gradient of the normal. So that is how you find the gradient, how you find the equation of the normal. So meaning, finding, in summary, I would say, for you to be able to find the equation of the normal, first of all, you need to differentiate your function, or the given function. After differentiating it, you need to find the gradient of the tangent. After finding the gradient of the tangent, in a case whereby you are not given the value of y, maybe they'll just specify where x is equal to such number. Meaning you need to, it's your duty to find the value of y. How? By replacing where there is x with the value of x that will be given. So that at the end of the day, you are going to find the value of y. But in a case whereby you are given the value of y, but like in our case, we are given the value of y, which is 7. So there is no need of you finding the value of y because you are going to find one and the same answer. So now after finding the value of y, or in a case whereby you are given the value of y, all you need to do is to find now the gradient of the normal. After you calculated the gradient of the tangent, you go direct to finding the gradient of the normal. So when finding the gradient of the normal, we said we use the formula m1 times m2 is equals to -1, where m1 represents the gradient of the tangent, m2 represents the gradient of the normal. So by that you are going to find the gradient of the normal. After now you found all these two, now you go to this formula in order to find the equation of the normal. If you are calculating the equation of the normal, where there is m there, you put m2. If you are calculating the equation of the tangent, where there is m2, you put m1. So this is all I could do, prepare for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to this channel so that we move on the same page, and also press on the bell so that you receive information whenever I post something on this channel. There's a number running on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. You can use that number to ask your questions. Don't ask on YouTube, I won't respond to your questions. Text me on WhatsApp. If you have a question or a contribution, let me know via WhatsApp, not on YouTube. I won't respond to such questions or contribution. If at all you find it to be easy to work with emails, there's an email running on the screen. You can text me via email and I'll be able to get back to you. Okay, so this is what I could do, prepare for you, but I have a question for you as part of practice. So I have this activity and I'll require you to work it out. Find the equation of the normal to the curve y is equals to x plus 4 over x, where x is equals to 4. That is a question that you, ladies and gentlemen, you can work out at your own time, and then send your answers to me so that I can mark you via WhatsApp or via email. Remember, your work should be handwritten. Write on a piece of paper, capture it. In a case whereby you have a doc scanner, you can scan your document and then forward it to my WhatsApp line or email. I'll be able to mark that paper and send it back to you so that you see how you perform, or how you worked, or how you improved. In other words, I will say you see your improvement. So remember to subscribe first of all. After subscription, place on the bell so that you receive information. Otherwise, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to host another video. In the next video, we'll look at the last part under differentiation, which is finding the coordinates of the turning point. So in the next video, we are going to look at how to find the coordinates of the turning point. From there, that's when you can move on to the second type of calculus, which is integration. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate your support that you offer each and every day to this channel by subscribing, and let other people to know this channel. Remember that I don't just offer this, I don't just use this platform to offer services like this one. If at all you are interested, you want to learn mathematics and whatnot, you can just let me know, because I also offer Zoom meetings. I teach grade 8 up to grade 12, including GCE. So if you want to be part of my online class, you can just WhatsApp me and then tell me the program that you want. Otherwise, I'll appreciate if you do so. Remember to send your answer. I want to see how you can work out that question. Thank you so much.